Hello and welcome to Unca Bean's Games Lab. I'm Unca Bean, and today we're going to be looking at Oxygen Not Included, a colony game by Cly. It's a pre-release game. It releases new content about every 2 weeks. They've got a countdown timer when you start the game. And basically you're a group of duplicants that start off mining an asteroid and hoping to survive and thrive all the way into space. So let's get started, and we'll show you the ropes from beginner to advanced. Okay, so the first thing we're going to show you is the Oxygen Not Included Wiki. Oh great, you've run away already. Just to show you it's here. Now if you want to know what makes a duplicant tick, it's here. Their traits, their jobs, everything. Everything you need to know about a duplicant is right here. If you want to know about the resources that are in the game, like iron, gold, whatever's in the game, it's here. Biomes, buildings, research, and guides. Now, the nice thing about guides is they've got it for getting started. They've got guides for food. They've got guides for heat transfer, geysers, oxygen. They've got a bit of everything. So if you need to check anything out, it's here. I have not had to use this very often, but it is nice to know it's here to find out, hey, I want a good trait for a duplicant. Let's see, what's really good? Oh, Twinkle Toes. +3 athletics. That'll make them great for supplying. Are a foodie. +3 cooking. That won't hurt. You know, it's just great to have as a resource. Okay, welcome to Oxygen Not Included. Now, what this basically says is the game is in the early stages of development. There's going to be a few bugs. It happens. I gotta say, the game works pretty much as intended, though. I haven't had a lot of problems. Things seem to work out really well. Okay, so what we're going to do is start a new game, Survival, and we're going custom for one reason. There we go. That is the change of map. The immune system, we're going to leave it regular. Duplicate mood, everything. Stress reactions, we're going to leave that on. Morale, yeah, we're just going to make these regular because that's where they start. And this is a beginner's tutorial, which will get pretty advanced later on. In the beginning, things are pretty easy. Okay, so we're going to start the game and generate the world. Now, as they generate the world, what they're doing is putting in everything for the world, obviously. That's kind of a stupid thing to say, but it's there. And it doesn't take very long. It's pretty quick. And they bring you to the place where you can choose your duplicants. Now you get to choose 3 duplicants to begin with. Now these are all their skills, and these are all their interests. If they have an interest in something, they will learn it 50% faster. Now, what you would ideally want is a duplicant who has something that matches, like research and learning. The higher their learning, the faster the research speed. So you get things researched quicker, you can build quicker, and expand your base quicker. This guy's actually not bad. He's got art and +3 creativity. Art gives you morale. Morale allows your dupes to take on higher level jobs and do higher level things. He's also an interior decorator. Now that gives a benefit as well. He's got good strength, tinkering. I think I might just keep this one. But we're going to shuffle through these other 2. We'll see if I keep him or not. Anyway, we'll be right back with the new ones. Okay, so here we are. I've chosen 3 good duplicants. Now, you can go outstandingly crazy and get, so they've got decent bonuses and everything if you sit there and flick long enough. I got a really good one here. He is actually pretty lucky. He was like my second pick. So, I'm going to quickly explain these. Now, athletics is how fast they move. Cooking is their cooking speed. Digging is their digging speed. Kindness is helping out in hospitals, things like that. Ranching is obviously critters. Tinkering is for building things. Construction is for building buildings. Creativity is for art. Farming is for plants. Learning is for research. And strength is for how much elbow grease they can put into things. Cleaning errands. Well, that's a good thing. I guess they can lift more and tidy more. That makes sense. Now, she's gastrophobia, so she can't cook. That's not a big deal. It's too bad she has +2 cooking. That would have been nice. But I want her mainly as a farmer and as a digger when she's not farming. So that worked out really well for her. I thought, great, +5 farming, I'll jump on that. I named her Ellie Mae because that seems like a cute little farmer name. Next, we move on to art. He's got 3 creativity, which means he's going to be my local artist. He's also a digger with +3 digging. That means I can also put him into mining until I need him in art. You can train them in multiple things, which is really good. The more you have them trained in, the better off they are. So it's a good idea to get them training when you've got some morale to move them up. And he's a yokel, so that means he can't do research, but I've got a good researcher over here. And he's a grease monkey, which means he's got good tinkering. So that lets him use machines and stuff like that he can operate. Next, we've got Dr. Jones. He's my learner. He's my researcher. Now, I do like to find something that works together. Now, ranch and research were hers, but I like the benefits of the digging and the farming, so she's going to learn them at a regular rate. That's fine. Dr. Jones, he's going to learn his researching. He's got 160% research speed because he has +4 learning. And he learns skill leveling 40% faster because of his learning. Now, it'll be a good idea to put other guys on research to increase their learning, but really you want the speed, so you want somebody with very good learning. I choose somebody with +3 or better. I just happen to get lucky that he came with these little extras. They're only +1, but they all help. Makes him a little better. But this guy, I'm really happy. Creativity, farming, and digging, so he can work on a lot of things. Alright. Now let's see, what shall we call ourselves? Those duplicitous duplicants. There you go. It's basically just for the save name, so it doesn't matter. Alrighty, alert! I've awoken with a startling crew of 3 duplicants, but the situation here is not as we expected. Resources are scarce, and our pod is embedded miles beneath the planet's surface. I must help my duplicants survive before I can investigate what went wrong. Begin. Well, that's quite a startling beginning. First thing you want to do is pause. Alright, now I'm going to put a disclaimer at the beginning that if you've seen this if you've played this game before, fast forward this video and start the next one. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain everything. Okay, right here we have the schedule. You click on that little stopwatch and it brings up a schedule editor. One of the first things I like to do is set up a couple of new schedules. Now I just use work to clear them off because that's just simpler. And there we go. Now you'll notice I take away the bathroom break there. They don't need it. If you give them an extra hour of downtime, they will use the bathroom during their downtime. Now when this person is done with their relaxation time and goes into sleep, I want the next duplicant to start their relaxation time. And that will put that there. And their sleep will move up here, which means this guy's will be down here. And then we set bedtime. Everybody needs their sleep. There we go. Now does this... Okay, I'm not going to set them up yet because this was put them on weird schedules. Actually, it might not be that bad. No, we'll do that when we get them. We'll move them after the schedules have passed. I don't want anybody sleeping right now. We need that work too much. Okay, but that will stay set. And when I want to move a duplicant, I just choose who I want to move. So right now, we're moving nobody. Next is your cycle. This is a day that has passed. Now, in each day, there's a downtime, there's a sleep cycle, and there's a work cycle. The way I set it up, as you can see, I got that block of hours when all 3 duplicants are working together. I just like to keep a nice block. Next, we have our population. The stress level. Your duplicants get stressed out if you work them too hard, or if you put them on a job they cannot handle yet, like moving them from a regular scientist to a tenured scientist before they had the morale for it. Immune system. Germs happen. If they pee on the floor, well, that's germs everywhere. You gotta clean it up quick. Slime. That's a big one. There are tons of germs in slime called slime lung. When I point them out later, when we find them, I'll show them to you. Next is your food. You start off with 16,000 kilocalories. So that's a good start. You can't complain about that. Next, consumables. this is where you tell everybody what they can eat. Now, right now, their morale is at 2. You can see that there. And these are the different types of food. Placebos when available, vitamin chews when available. That's for healing. Berry sludge, lice loaf, bristleberry, mush bars, nutrient bars, and meal lice. Now, mush bars cause diarrhea. We don't want to play with those. We had some bad incidents living off mush bars for a while. Vitals. This tells you everything you need to know about a duplicant. They just woke up, they're a little stressed. They'll be fine in a day or two once we get some things built. Reports. This tells you what's going on, what you've done for the day, the calorie generation, stress changes. Research is blocked out until you build a research station. Priorities. This we may take a quick look at now. Ellie Mae. She's a good digger. She can't cook, but she's a great farmer. So we want Ellie Mae to have a priority higher when farming. If we'd wanted it lower, we would right click and bring it down. But she's a good farmer, so she can have a little higher priority for farming projects. Art. Let's see, what did I get him for? I believe I got him for his creativity and his farming, yes. And his digging. So let's see, we will let him have higher priority for digging and art. Dr. Jones, he's my researcher. We put a very high priority research. Nobody does research but Dr. Jones. And new people that come in. Whoops. There we go. There you go. New duplicants, I've got that set so they cannot do any research. Now, when they come in, if I want them to have a high priority for digging, I can set that for digging, so it would set a high priority. Or leave it normal. Now, these are their best skills, which is why I set them up. Art is good because he's got the farming and the digging. I should actually put that at a higher priority too. I'll leave that there. These are the things he cares about. Okay, now as we're going through priorities, next we have jobs, which is set up later. Star maps we have not had access to yet. And then we go into the overlays. We start off with oxygen. Got a little description here. Very breathable, breathable, barely breathable, and unbreathable. Generally carbon dioxide is unbreathable. Chlorine, hydrogen, things like that. Excuse me. Now down here we have breathable oxygen, but not very. Up here we have tons of oxygen, which is always very good. Next we have the power overlay, which will come in useful when you're running power and you want to make sure you're not overloading your circuits. Each circuit can only hold so much and can only, I will have to look into the wattage of the wire, but I will tell you as I'm laying it. The temperature overlay tells you the overall temperature of the base, where it's too hot, where it's too cold, where you need to cool it down, heat it up. Thermal tolerance, and that's body heat retention, body heat loss. You get in the water, you lose, obviously. Water's cold. Lights, only thing that's got light right now is the shine bug and our little duplicant printer. Plumbing, ventilation, decor. This is very important for morale. Germ overlay. This is where we're going to find some slime lung later, and I'll tell you all about that. Okay, this is our farming overlay. And that would be the room overlay. This is the biggest way to get morale. You build them rooms. Bedrooms, barracks, great halls, washrooms, latrines. The better the buildings you have, the more morale they have, the better job they can do, and the higher level they can work. Okay, so that brings us down here. Food, we have 16,000 kilocalories edible. We have no critter eggs. If we find them, we can save them in a storage capacitor later. Okay, now we're going to move down to the bottom. This is your priority setting. Everything's generally set at 5, right in the middle. Start off, you can dig, which you just highlight an area, dig where you want to dig. Wrangle is capturing critters for ranching and putting them in and harvesting them for meat. Harvesting is for harvesting full-grown plants, obviously. You can empty pipes and remove the contents of a pipe. Say you've accidentally loaded polluted water into something where you need clean water. That's how you do it. Now, sub-priority, when you want to set something at a different priority, let's just zoom in here. Say I want to set collecting rations to a really high priority. So they find a route, they stick it in the ration box. I would set it to 9. If I wasn't worried about it and it was a regular priority, I would leave it at 5. It's really that simple. Higher priority gets done faster. Sweeping is when you want to clean up the lot. You just do a quick drag where you want to clean. Mopping, same thing. Disinfecting is for buildings. Like you could disinfect this if it needed to be disinfected. Deconstructing is for tearing down buildings. Attack is for attacking wild critters. And canceling is obviously for canceling something you've placed and don't want to build. Because a lot of times you'll find you've got it paused, you're building something for your duplicates to build out, and then you realize, oh crap, I didn't want to build that there, I need to lower it a level. So you take the cancel, you cancel that part, you lower the level, do whatever you need to do. Now here's where people think it gets complicated, but really it's not. It takes a long time to get into everything, and as you do, everything builds upon each other. Like when you start off with the base, this is your basic base. You have tiles for the floor, you have pneumatic doors, and you have ladders. Now later on, you have airflow tiles, hydroponic tiles for food, you have mesh tiles, you have insulated tiles, and things like that. So it does seem like it's complicated, but it's really not. The algae deoxidizer, that converts algae into oxygen. This right here is algae. You collect that, you throw it in here, it outputs oxygen, and when the gas pressure becomes maximum for an area, it quits working. Let's see, it produces a little bit of heat, but it's not bad. Power. You start with a hamster wheel, a wire, and a battery. This powers your algae deoxidizer, your research station, etc. It's really simple basic science. The microbe masher is where you build your food. I would not recommend the mush bars. I've had really bad experiences with those. I like to force them into mealwood as quick as possible. Plumbing is your outhouse, your pitcher pump for gathering water, and your bottle emptier for emptying polluted water, which you will get from your sinks and stuff like that. When you get polluted water, you don't want to let it sit for long periods of time because it releases polluted oxygen, which poisons your colony eventually. Takes a long time to happen, but if you're not careful, it will. Ventilation is for your gas, like if you want to pipe chlorine into an ore scrubber so you can clean your algae of all the germs before you turn it, or your slime, into algae. Yes, you turn slime into algae later. And when you do, it creates a lot of germs if you don't have an ore scrubber. So actually, ore scrubbers, I apologize, are in utilities, I believe. Refinement is things like compost. Ventilation is things for gas. So I was explaining chlorine for the ore scrubber, right? Okay, next we go into medicine. We have a med bed if they get sick, a massage table if they get stressed, and a wash basin to clean off the germs. Now you can set the direction on these, which is nice. We'll go into that when we build it. Furniture, you start off with a simple cot. That's all you need, some place to sleep. And stations, a research station. You notice everything has been grayed out. This is because I've not gotten any material yet. You need sandstone to build things, you need copper to build things, you need coal to run your generator. It seems very complicated, but really, it's not. Everything's pretty much done automatically. You mine the materials, they run and put the coal in the generator, they do things according to the priority you set. Now, utilities are things like ore scrubbers. Automation is how you automate things. Shipping is like an automatic sweeper that goes along and sweeps for you and drops it off in containers. Little things like that. And rocketry, you eventually get out of this planet and into space. And we will get there. It's just going to take a little while. Okay, so now I've explained everything about the basics of the game to you. We're going to end this video, and we'll start the next one with the beginning of the playthrough. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you've learned the basics of the game, and I've given you some basic understanding. And as I said, it's really not that complicated. Check it out, enjoy, watch a video or two, and you can see the beginning. Like I said, we're starting off from beginner to advanced. See you soon.